Welcome back to TRT World. We're going to take you live to an event here in Istanbul now because Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, he is addressing a conference of the Organisation of Islamic Cooperation. He's talking about the issue of the killing of Jamal Khashoggi.
A short while ago, an important person from the press, as you know, Jamal Khashoggi, unfortunately in our Istanbul, right here at the consulate building of Saudi Arabia, he was killed, and it's not a topic to set aside. It is obvious in every aspect. And it is, for me, it's very clear who the perpetrator is. Because 15 people who have been sent to our Istanbul, it is clear that they are involved. They're involved in the incident. And it is clear where the operation was carried out, where the event took place. We have asked to those officers who were sent to us, there are perpetrators among the 15, we said, and you know who the perpetrator is. And you are able to find that perpetrator. But the answer that they give to us is, we have currently detained 18 people. And then they rose the number to 22. Okay, in that case, find out the perpetrator as well. Previously, they were trying to blame it on here, on us. What did they say? They said Jamal Khashoggi went inside the building for his wedding arrangements, and then he left the building. But that is a lie, because his fiancée was waiting outside, and it's not an ordinary person. This person is a thinker and an author. How can he leave the building and forget to meet his fiancée outside and leave? It's impossible. Of course, subsequently, they said they did not mean this, and they even took a step further, and their Minister of Foreign Affairs said, we did this with local collaborators. In that case, who is this local collaborator? Tell us that. In addition to never telling us who this person is, they lied once again, saying that they never even said there was a local collaborator. And even more interestingly, of course, in the voice recordings, we have also found out that among those who came, there was some of the closest of the Crown Prince who were the active players inside that team. Those were the people who were fulfilling the instructions that they received. Things are surfacing. They asked us this. They said, if I send my chief prosecutor, can he meet with your chief prosecutor? And I said, of course, please send him to meet our chief prosecutor. And he did come, indeed, and they met. But they delayed. They found excuses. He did not share any information or any evidence with my Istanbul chief prosecutor. But the Istanbul prosecutor gave him any kind of information that he could, because the perpetrator is obvious, they know that. People who helped him, they're also with him, they're also there. A group comes to Istanbul on Friday. On Monday or Tuesday, the second group comes. They finish the operation, they wrap up, and they leave. But as the public prosecutor who is living in Istanbul, he brought back 5 luggages of nuts because his point was different, his thought was different. And with all that, all the officers that they sent to us, we have expressed everything very clearly, but they continued hiding facts. And what is interesting is some circles and some groups within the Muslim world, unfortunately, they are victims to the dollar or to the real, and those, unfortunately, failed to defend what was right within the frame of justice. In the Western world, in a similar fashion, some barons, they are unable to express this either. Why? Because they're expecting dollars. That's why.
Şimdi petrolün zengini durumunda olan bu ülke
This country is rich in oil, but unfortunately it was unable to make its decision yet.
fakat hak
But justice will be served.
Senatosu'ndaki gelişmeleri
You know
duydunuz.
the developments in the American Senate yesterday,
Daha gelişerek devam
and
edecek.
this
Neden?
will continue. It will increase because
Amerikalılara, istihbarat örgütüne,
we have
yetkililerine
shared with the Americans, with the intelligence agency, all the information that we had.
İngilizler istedi, onlara da verdi.
The British asked for it, and we shared with them as well. The Germans asked for it, and we shared with them as well. With Saudi Arabia, with the French.
Biz hepsine
And we said, whoever requests it, we are ready to share. And why?
adalet mülkün esasıdır. Adalet
Because
mülkün
justice
usulüdür.
is the foundation of a state. We wanted justice.
Ve uluslararası hukukta da suçun işlendiği yer burası olduğu için
According to international law, since a crime was committed here, we ask for those people so that we could try them here. But they do not give. They do not expatriate. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs said we cannot give our countrymen, our citizens. If he had
ne demek?
an understanding of justice, he would say, of course we would give them to you. And here, take them and try them, prosecute them yourself. But they're unable to say that because
Neresi olduğu
they
ortaya
know
çıkıyor.
quite well where this will spill to.
Birleşmiş Milletler'de Amerika'nın daimi temsilcisi Nikki Haley biliyorsunuz.
And Nikki Haley, as you know,
ve açıkça isim
made
verdi.
remarks and he gave a name clearly.
Bu da bir şeyi gösteriyor.
He gave names, and this shows something.
Çıplaklığıyla artık iş ortaya çıkıyor.
Facts are now
Bizim
emerging.
temennimiz de bu işin gerçek manada ortaya
And our wish is that it will be fully
sonuna
revealed.
kadar kovalayacağız.
We will chase it till the end.
Bırakmak yok.
We will not let it go,
Ki adalet,
so that justice can be served.
değerli misafirler. Türkiye'nin bölgesinde uyguladığı politikanın temelinde
At the foundation of the policy that Turkey uses in its region, it always sides with the oppressed against the oppressor, and it does not only stay there, but also tries to establish peace in the region, in the field.
yakıp yıkanlar
Those who burned Syria and Iraq for years with the excuse of fighting against terror groups, they are to blame, but those who allowed them are also to blame. One striking example of this can be seen in Syria, which is right at the other side of our borders. 1/3 of Syrian territory is under occupation by a terror group, and it is receiving support from the US and some European countries to maintain its oppression and its atrocities.
ülkemizi de hedef aldığı için
We,
elbette
of
çok
course,
daha etkili bir şekilde mücadele ediyoruz.
fight very efficiently against this terror group because it also directly targets our country. But actually, the whole Muslim world should fight in whole against this terrorist group. Because through this terrorist group, a part of Syria is being excluded from our civilization and our history.
bizim böyle bir terör örgütüne, böyle bir
Such a terrorist group and such a threat, we cannot possibly allow it. For this reason,
Cerablus'ta
just like previously in Jarablus and Afrin, and with the agreement that we made with Russia, that as we did in Idlib, we will do the same on the eastern side of Euphrates to bring peace and security in those areas. And by yesterday evening,
yaptık.
we have carried out operations in Iraq, and
Sınırlarımıza tehdit oluşturan Sincar'da
at Sinjar, which had a threat to our border, and at Karachar and around Mahur mountain,
operasyonumuzu yaptık.
we have carried out our operation against the threats there. But we did not stop there. We won't stop there, and there will be
Oradan
subsequent
eğer
operations,
bize bir
because
tehdit varsa ki var,
if there is a threat from there to us, which there is,
bu terör
this will be
örgütlerini
responded in kind, and they will either eliminate those terror groups, and if they don't, we will eliminate them. Yesterday, from Tel Rifat, there was an attack towards our troops in Afrin, and this shows how right we were in the decision that we took. The weapons that are gathered at our borders, of course, would ultimately target our soldiers, and this event proves that once again. As you know, the US has 22 bases in northern Syria, and more than 20,000 trucks of weapons and equipment and ammunition has been sent to this area. And who do these come to? They come to the PKK, PYD, and YPG in the region. And through them, these weapons are used. And when we capture them, we can see where they come from and through whom they were sent. And in intelligence, as you know, there is human intelligence and technical intelligence. We use the human intelligence and technical intelligence gathering, and with all of that, what, where, how many vehicles, how many trucks came and left, and what they brought. We learn all of those. And we share these with at the highest level. I have shared this with Mr. Obama and Mr. Trump, with all the dates and all details. But all of them, unfortunately, they seem to be listening, but they don't hear. They don't do what is necessary. As we said, justice. Without justice, when there is no justice, those eyes become blind. Until today, we are strategic partners. We are together in NATO. We are together in many international organizations. With us, those who cannot take the steps with us or unable to take the steps with us, they are imagine what they would do to countries which are not even members of such organizations. Now they're asking for a new plan from us. But the Münbiç story has turned into a distraction. They are trying to distract us from our dedication. Münbiç is an 90% Arab region. But that region, that whole region, they have given it to those terror groups, even though they gave us a commitment. They said they would take them out of that region and send them towards Eastern Euphrates, but they did not. And now we say, you either do it, you either chase them out of that region, but otherwise we will enter Münbiç as well. I'm being frank. Turkey
Fırat'ın doğusundaki terör bataklığına müdahale konusunda
is
yeteri kadar zaman kaybetmiş.
has lost enough time in
Bundan sonrası
interfering
için
in
tek bir gün
Eastern Euphrates.
gecikmeye dahi
From now
tahammülümüz
on, we do not have patience for even a
Afrin
single day's delay.
operasyonunda sahada karşılaştığımız manzara
At the Afrin operation, what we saw in the fields was quite matching the reports that we received from intelligence organizations. The information shows us what is being done on the eastern side of the Euphrates River and tell us what will happen if we do not act immediately. I also want the following fact to be known. With the steps that we take in Syria, we do not only ensure the security of our country, but rather we protect the honor of the Muslim Ummah and whole humanity. No sectarian fanatism can cover this fact. Everyone who approaches this issue in justice will be able to see this fact. If we want peace, justice, and ethics in the region, what we must do is to support Turkey in the struggle, in this cause. Distinguished guests, one of the most important threats in justice is the judiciary leaving reason aside and following is being controlled by those whose only agenda is their own ideology. At the FETÖ incident, Turkey had this problem. First, the police and judiciary, and then their militants within the army. They used their people in these organizations and attempted a coup in this country, but now they are being tried, they are being brought to justice. No matter how major the treachery that...
You're listening to the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who is speaking here in Istanbul at a conference of the Organisation of Islamic Cooperation.